For years, the world was captivated by the story of Grace and Hope Taylor, the conjoined twins born in 2010 who defied the odds simply by surviving infancy. Connected at the chest and sharing vital organs, the girls were the subject of multiple documentaries and news specials. Their story was one of resilience, love, and sacrifice, with their parents, Amanda and Brian Taylor, choosing not to pursue separation surgery due to the high risk involved. Now, over a decade later, shocking new developments have emerged, and the world is once again talking about the Taylor twins. But this time, the story has taken a darker, more tragic turn. In a quiet press conference last week, the Taylor family revealed what many had long suspected, but were too polite or afraid to ask. The twins had undergone a secret separation surgery, and only one of them survived. For years, Amanda and Brian had publicly maintained that no surgery was planned. But behind the scenes, the family had been in discussions with an elite medical team in Europe who claimed a revolutionary procedure could make the impossible possible. The surgery, performed in absolute secrecy at a private facility in Switzerland, took place when the girls were 12. By then, Grace and Hope had become increasingly independent in thought and personality. While they shared a body, their minds and their desires for the future had begun to diverge. According to medical documents released by the family, it was Grace who wanted the surgery. Hope, on the other hand, was hesitant, but ultimately, the decision was made, not just by the parents, but with the input of both girls. What no one anticipated, however, was how devastating the result would be. The surgery lasted over 20 hours. It was hailed as groundbreaking by the team who performed it, but complications arose in the final stages. While Grace was stabilized, Hope suffered cardiac arrest and died on the operating table. The news was kept from the public, and for months afterward, Grace remained in isolation during recovery, hidden from the world that once watched her every move. Now 15 years old, Grace has made her first public statement, a haunting and emotional video in which she talks about living with survivor's guilt, the pressure of media scrutiny, and the complicated love she still holds for her sister. "I wanted to be my own person," she says through tears, "but I never imagined doing it without her. She was a part of me, literally and spiritually. Now, I wake up every day feeling like half of me is gone." The reaction has been intense. While some sympathize with the unimaginable choices the Taylor family had to make, others have criticized the secrecy surrounding the procedure. Medical ethicists have also weighed in, questioning whether a 12-year-old could truly consent to such a high-risk operation, even if it was framed as her choice. Then there are the conspiracy theories. Some claim the surgery was never intended to be fair, that doctors had always known only one could survive, and that the family, driven by media pressure and financial opportunities, chose the child they believed had the best future. The Taylors vehemently deny this, stating that the risks were made clear and that both girls were given the best possible chance. What's undeniable is the emotional complexity of this story. It forces uncomfortable questions about identity, autonomy, and the ethics of high-stakes medical intervention. Grace, now living a private life under a new name, has expressed a desire to one day become an advocate for children with rare conditions. She says she wants Hope's memory to be honored, not as a cautionary tale, but as a symbol of strength. So yes, we've heard what happened to the conjoined twins, and it's not the fairy tale ending many hoped for. It's a deeply human story, full of heartbreak, controversy, and unresolved questions. And like all real-life stories, it's messy, painful, and far from simple.